Welcome back. I'm going to continue this now. This is in my Q-Link tests. Another thing to do, what I always suggest, is when you're creating your track or your beat, whatever it is that you're creating, your arrangement sequence for a live performance, I would always suggest this. Don't keep everything on all ports. Because by doing that, what you're basically doing is then sending any information. So if you are using an external controller, like a nano key like I've got here, or if you're using a nano pad or one of the controller, basically only select that for the channels that you're going to use it on. The MPC will still respond, but so will your keys. But what I would say to people, don't keep all ports, select it to, by example, if what you're doing on that track has been programmed and it's all your drums or your synths, select the MPC. So in other words, my external controller here now doesn't send any MIDI information, so it's not going to respond to modulation, pitch, etc, etc. So any MIDI information you are sending from an external controller will not affect every single channel that you're sending stuff to. And what I mean by that is basically, if I had this select to all ports and I've got all of my tracks, say I've got, I don't know, 10 tracks in there, they're all going to be listening to all ports at all times. Therefore, if you're sending a controller message through via MIDI or USB to the MPC to control a track or a channel or submixes, etc, etc, it will affect, it will send that information to every single track, and that's where the MPC can lock up. So I do suggest what you do is you just select MPC for all the MPC stuff. Then if by example there's a particular track or a particular set of tracks that you want to say control the filter on the submix, use it via the Q-Links, which I'm going to show you how to do again here. I showed it on my previous video, but it's going to quickly show you how to set this one up. And therefore it will not interfere. You won't have to go through CC filtering or anything like that. You can do, obviously you don't, it doesn't have to be listening to all these control messages. You know, we're not sending portamento, we're not sending expression, breath controller, undefined, portamento, panning information, sustain. Switch all of this off. You don't need any of it on. All you might want is your modulation. If you're using a foot controller on there, keep it on. And this is MIDI filter performance settings, yeah, for when stuff is coming in via an external device. See, look, this is set to MPC, so when I hit an MPC pad, it hits. Now if I hit my keyboard, nothing happens. If I select nano control, MPC still works, but so does the keyboard. If I select arm off, it doesn't get anything. It still plays back via the MPC, but it doesn't play back via the controller. So when you've got it on arm, it's actually always reading and reading and reading and reading and reading. So that's one little note. Okay, for the Q-Link edits, we're going to go Shift Q-Link. What we've got, first of all, let's go to track mix, select submixes. As you can see on the insert channels, I selected air filter on submix 1 and delay on submix 2. Then we go to Q edit, project. Now we want to set up our Q-Links to control submix 1 on bank 1, as I'm going to call it. So submix 1, bottom Q-Link 1, set to volume at the moment. We want it for the insert one, so we have to make sure we select insert, submix. See, when we touch another thing, it goes back to main. That's why you should always make sure. If you can see here, it's jumping around every time I touch these. So make sure you push submix, 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 submix. These are all set to submix now. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, on the bottom one, we were going to control inserts, insert, insert, insert. Go to off. We're going to select bottom one, which is a resonance. 2. We're going to select cutoff frequency. Bug. Third one. See that? Look. Jumped. If you watch here, you might see it when I'm touching this. See, it jumps back to Q-Link in this row. It seems to be this row it seems to jump to. So I do the same here. See it jump? Still on volume. Oops, it jumped again. See that? Volume. Volume. Okay, stay there. Now it's staying there. Okay. Back to what we were doing. Sorry, distraction. Cutoff frequency. Submix Q-Link 9. Submix 1. Insert 1. Parameter. We're controlling saturation drive, and the Q-Link 13, select the parameter of saturation type maybe. So when we go back to our main, you can see saturation drive. Filter, resonance, bit crusher. I don't know if you'd want to set saturation type up here. It depends if you want to switch your type of distortion. Right. See, that works. So that's one way to control the filter and stuff without using an external controller, because you have a built-in controller. It's right here. As you can see, we've just got outputs. Back to Q-Link edit, which is I'm holding shift. You can see I'm on project. Let's say for bank 2, let's go to bank 4, because maybe you want to use this for your output. So let's go to main. We want to control the output volume, so we can maybe we want to turn down the mix. So that will turn down. It's gone to there. 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. So if you're just coming out of, you only got 2 outputs, so I don't know what it's listing 3 and 4, 5. If you're connected to a MIDI device or to a external sound card that has multiple outputs on via USB, then these outputs come into line. But as we've only got 2 outputs on the MPC 1 anyway, and then we're just going to select volume for these. Volume. Second one, we're going to select pan, so we can control the pan of the main mix. This controls the whole mix. Left, right. Volume. See? Control the volume, so we don't have to go around to the back to push the volume. You can control the main volume. So if you want to, quieten your mix at the end of your performance, you just turn down the main volume. It's funny how it jumps still. It jumps randomly. There's no specific moment or time it does it. Give it a set. There we go. You could actually have the panning, nice one, be to have that on momentary, so momentary. So you can pan left and right, and when you finish panning, it jumps back really quick. Boop. See, back to the center. Hold it to the left momentarily. It's going to pan everything left and bops, jump back to center, which is probably handy. You don't want it all panned off, so at least it's going to reset every time. volume. So there we go. Now we're going to see if this saves with the program, because people have been saying it doesn't save. So let's go to save project. I'm going to call it our test, Q test. I am going to call it my Q test because that's what this is. Test sequence stroke project, and then we're going to save it to the internal drive, MPC 1, blah blah blah. Just got it to I'm just going to save it so I can see if it all loads up nicely and keeps our Q-links. Alright, that's saved. I'm going to go new project. Okay, right. Empty project, goods, Q-Link. As you can see, it's all reset back to where it should be. La la la. Now let's go to browse, project, open, Q-Link tests, open. Oops, we go to project first. Go back up one. Sorry. We want to find the project for Q-Link. There it is. XPJ's project. Let's load that. Okay, go to our main. Yeah, as we can see, it has saved all our Q-Link settings. As we can see, volume, pan, outputs 1 and 2, submix. These are all the inserts and submix. So it does save it. There you go. Hope that's useful and you get value from that. If you've got any questions, hit me in the comment section. Thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe because I've got many more of these advanced tutorials coming up. Because there is a lot of advanced stuff that you can do with this wonderful machine when it's 100% working. It does have its little quirks, and I have to say it's a quirky machine. The AKAI, in my experience so far, it doesn't matter what firmware you're on. I'm on the, let's have a look, 2.11.8. It doesn't seem to matter what firmware you're on. It's always got some kind of quirk somewhere, or something that needs to be worked around, or like you can see with the Q-Links, it had a little glitch there. It just jumps to the second Q-Link randomly when you edit. Is it doing it? Oh, see, sometimes it's alright. No, there you go. Did you see it jump then? If you watch the resonance in this space, I'll try and turn it slowly, see if it jumps to number 2. Q-Link 5, that would be. This is Q-Link 1. I still think they should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. But no, they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's one way of doing it. It's kind of else about face, but there you go. So, see, yeah, see it jumped. Look. Oh, I'll let go. It jumped. Sweet. Well, I wouldn't. It's so random. It's not. Oh yeah, if you get it to this point, it always does it. And as soon as you touch or move it, the other Q-Link again, it jumps back to where it should be anyway. But just bear that in mind when you're doing stuff, and all of a sudden you find that it seems to be bank 2, or this Q knob here along this bank. 1, 2. So it seems to be Q-Link 5, 6, 7, and 8 actually. It seems to mess about. It seems to jump to. There's nothing on there. See, do you see it jump then? Look. It's classic. Jump to pan again, or jump to this bank. That's where it jumps to. So I set that to momentary. That's handy because then it just. Oh, see it jumped to bank 1 then. nothing on here, which is why it's not adjusting. Anyway, again, thumbs up, hope you enjoyed that. Any questions, hope this helps you out, and thanks for watching. Cheers now, bye.